Hello friends, welcome to my channel Grammarian Bhai. And today let's solve MCQs and then extracts of Act-2, Scene-2 of Julius Caesar workbook solution of Morning Stars. So here is the multiple choice questions. So here I'm not going to read all the options. I will read only the correct options. So the first one. Which of the following was not one of the horrid sights reported from the street of Rome? So option C is correct. Blood dripping from the roof. Second one, what reply does Calpurnia give when Caesar said that the potents concerned mankind in general, not him alone? So option B is correct. The heavens themselves blaze forth the death of princes. Next one, number 3. Why does Caesar initially agree to Calpurnia's suggestion to not move out of his house? Option B is correct. For Calpurnia's sake. Number 4. How does Decius interpret the meaning of Calpurnia's dream? Here option A is correct. Caesar shall give life to all Rome. Number 5. How does Caesar compare himself with the beast sacrificed by the priests? So here option B is correct. He would be covered like the beast. Number 6. Which characteristic trait of Caesar is revealed through his denial of omens and portents? So here option D is correct. Vanity. Number 7. Which method was used by Decius to dupe Caesar and persuade him to go to Senate? So option C is correct. Flattery. Number 8. What does this scene suggest about Caesar's flaw that led to his doom? So option B is correct. Pride. Number 9. Which of the following is not a reason for Caesar to disregard his wife's warning? So here option B is correct, that is humility. Now let's see about the contextual questions. So here the extract are given there, and after that few questions are there. So let us solve it. So the first question, in what mood does Calpurnia speak to Caesar? Why does she warn him when earlier had he been warned of this day? So the answer is Calpurnia is in frightened mood. She is frightened by her dream and she foresees danger to Caesar's life. Earlier, soothsayer had been warned of this day. Beware of Ides of March 15. Second one, what has Caesar noticed about the night? What did he ask his servant to do then? Why? So the answer is Caesar noticed that neither heaven nor earth at peace about the night. He asks his servant to bid priests to sacrifice and return with the outcome, since Caesar is superstitious. Next, number 3, Caesar says Caesar shall forth. On what are Calpurnia's fears based? State 2 unusual things which she had heard to have happened. So the answer is Calpurnia tells him that there have been reports of horrid sights in the streets of Rome. Graves have yielded up their dead and ghosts have squealed. The groans of dying men have been heard and blood has been seen dripping on the wall of the Capitol. Number 4. What does Caesar say later about cowards? What does he say in the extract to show that he is not threatened? So the answer is Caesar says that cowards die many times before their actual death. Caesar prefers to face danger. In fact, danger sees the face of Caesar and runs away from him. Number 5. What aspect of the character of Calpurnia as well as of Caesar is hinted at in the extract? Give reasons to justify your answer. So the answer will be Calpurnia is frightened by her dream and she foresees danger to Caesar's life. She pleads and scolds and begs him to stay at home, even if it were by telling lies and risking his high reputation. She is dejected by the fact Caesar ultimately does not heed to her warnings. Caesar is superstitious yet proud. He is worried about the storm and his wife's dream, but too proud and ambitious to listen to. Next one, extract 2. Here the first question is, what is meant by I never stood on ceremonies? What is Caesar's normal opinion on such things? So the answer is, it means that Calpurnia never paid attention to omnis or ceremonies. Caesar is superstitious yet is proud. He is worried about the storm and Calpurnia's dream, but Caesar shows that he is fearless. Next one, mention any 3 other signs enumerated by Calpurnia in her speech. So the answer is, Calpurnia has had a dream that Caesar's statue has been spouting blood. We learn of more prodigies in the streets of Rome, ghosts, a drizzle of blood over the Capitol, a lioness giving birth in the street. So Calpurnia interprets these signs and her dream as prophetic of her husband's death. Number 3, what does Calpurnia's speech reveal about her character? So the answer is, Calpurnia's speech reveals that she is a devoted wife. She cares for Caesar, so she cries in her sleep for Caesar. She tries everything to stop Caesar. Next one, what is Caesar's reaction to Calpurnia's fears? What does he decide to do? So the answer is, as a loving husband, Caesar alleges Calpurnia's fears. Prepare not to go to the Senate, but he is led by his pride, vanity, and fate to disregard his wife's warning and goes to Senate. Number 5. What does Caesar a little later do to indicate that death is inevitable? Which characteristic trait of Caesar is highlighted by this action? So the answer is, Caesar disregards all the warnings sent by the priest. He tells Calpurnia that it is absurd for men to fear inevitable death. He boasts that he is more terrible than the imagined fear. He prefers to face dangers than to run away. His action indicates that Caesar is proud of himself and of his power. Next one, extract 3. And the first question of extract 3 is, where are Calpurnia and Caesar at this moment? What is Calpurnia trying to convince Caesar? So the answer is, Calpurnia and Caesar are in a room in their home at this moment. Calpurnia is trying to convince Caesar not to step out from home. She is worried and fearful for his life. Second one, state 2 reasons offered by Calpurnia for wanting Caesar to stay at home. So the answer is, the 2 reasons offered by Calpurnia for wanting Caesar to stay at home are, first, Calpurnia's fear, second, Caesar being unwell. Next one, bring out 3 arguments Decius puts forward to make Caesar change his mind. So the answer is the three arguments Decius puts forward to make Caesar change his mind are: first, he convinced that his absence will go against his interest in the Senate. Second, he interprets Calpurnia's dream to suit his own scheme of things and flatters Caesar that senators will offer the royal crown to him. Third, if Caesar does not go, then he would be seen as a henpecked husband and a coward leader. Next one, explain clearly in your own words the meaning of your wisdom is consumed in confidence. Was Calpurnia correct in her judgment of her husband? Why? So the answer is it means that Caesar is overconfident, so he cannot be wise or think for himself. Yes, Calpurnia was correct in her judgment of her husband, as she had had a dream, and even the soothsayer had warned earlier, and even priest had sent the warning to Caesar. Next, number 5. What is revealed of Calpurnia's character in the above words? So the answer is it reveals that Calpurnia is a caring wife. She accepts the responsibility for Caesar's action of not going to the capital. Portia wants to share her husband's problems but does nothing, since Caesar disregards all the warnings. So she remains a silent spectator. Next one, number 4. And the first question of extract 4 is: where are the speakers at this moment? What day is this? What is significance of this day? So the answer is the speakers are at Caesar's house at this moment. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. The day is 15th of March, IDs of March. The significance of this day has been warned to Caesar by soothsayer. Second one, what did Calpurnia dream? How did she interpret her dream? So the answer is Calpurnia dreamt that Caesar's statue is spouting blood. She interpreted her dream that the grave harm is going to come upon Caesar. Decius interprets her dream that the great Rome shall renew its strength from Caesar. Great men will crowd around Caesar to get something stained by his blood to cherished like a relic. Next one, question number 3. What other reasons did Calpurnia state for not wanting Caesar to go to the Senate? So the answer is the other reasons stated by Calpurnia was that there have been reports of horrid sights in the streets of Rome. Graves have yielded up their dead, and ghosts have squealed. The groans of dying men have been heard, and blood has been seen dripping on the walls of the Capitol. Number 4. What other statements did Decius make to convince Caesar that he should attend the Senate? How it is that Decius had come on the scene at the time? So the answer is Decius convinced Caesar that his absence will go against his interest in the Senate. He interpreted Calpurnia's dream to suit his own scheme of things and flatters Caesar. He also wins over Caesar that if he does not go to Senate, then he would be seen as hen-pecked husband and a coward leader. Number 5. What is your opinion of Caesar at this point in the play? Express your feelings for him when he is assassinated. So the answer could be, according to my opinion, Caesar is overconfident. He is proud of his power. He is boastful. He rejects all the warnings. He does not even listen to his wife. Hence, his pride and disregarding attitude of warnings led him to be assassinated. And the last extract, number 5, and the first question of the extract 5 is, what had Decius assured Caesar that the Senate were proposing to do that particular day? Why? So the answer is, Decius had assured Caesar that the Senate are resolved to offer him a crown that very day, and if does not come, they may change their minds. He also suggested that he may be mocked if it is known that Caesar is frightened by the dreams of his wife. Second one, when was a similar thing already offered and what was the reaction of Caesar at that time? So the answer is, crown was offered to Caesar during the celebration of the feast of Lupercalia, but Caesar had refused it, so crowd had shouted in daylight at Caesar's response. Number 3, what interpretation had Decius offered to Calpurnia's dream? What was his motive? So the answer is, Decius interpreted the dream of Calpurnia in an excessively flattering manner, unable to make an excuse that might suggest some human weakness. Caesar relies on pride. He is too great to be obliged to explain himself. Decius appeals to his ambition to be king and concern for Caesar's future career. Number 4, earlier in the play, Caesar himself had expressed once to Antony and once to Calpurnia other thoughts on the topic of fear. Describe as closely as you can any one of the things he says about fear. So here Caesar himself had expressed to Antony. So here first one, Antony. Caesar says he will tell Antony what is fear rather than what he fears because he is Caesar. To Calpurnia, if seems strange, men should fear their death because death comes as a necessary end. And the last one, explain in your own words the meaning of the phrase, it were a mock to be rendered. What is revealed of Decius' character in the passage? So the answer is, it means that it would be a joke that would crack later. It is revealed about Decius that he is a crafty manipulator. He is a betrayer of friendship. He convinced Caesar that his absence will go against his interest in the Senate. He flatters Caesar to win over. Subscribe the channel if video is helpful to you.